Program. Top of the hour at 9 o'clock is to learn something that happened here in the state of Iowa on this day. And that's where we turn to the talents of one Professor Jeff Stein.
Yeah, our rock star of history. Here we go.
I like that, the rock star of history.
That's very nice, but look at the party I got going on here. I don't see any party.
We have to ramp it up here just a little bit. Put your party mug down and tell us a little bit about what we're going to be chatting about today, because, you know, one thing about the state of Iowa, we are known for a lot of different things, but one of the things that we're most proud of is the excellent education it provides its students, Jackie.
Absolutely, and we're talking about a very special school on this particular day. Tell us all about it, Professor.
Absolutely. Good morning to you both. You know, the experiences we have as young people shape our entire lives. And that was certainly true for a man named Samuel Bacon. He was born in 1823 in Ohio.
Wait a minute, Bacon?
You like his name?
I like this guy already.
Why did I know that if I mentioned the word bacon, now Jackie's paying attention?
Hey, I think most Iowans are.
Yes, that's a fair point. Mr. Bacon, born in Ohio, he was blind from the time he was a young boy and was educated at the Ohio School for the Blind. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about the early 1800s. But that experience led Samuel Bacon to make education for the blind his life's work, establishing schools for the blind in no fewer than 3 states during the last half of the 19th century. First, he founded the Illinois School for the Blind in Jacksonville, Illinois. That was in 1949. During a visit across the river in Keokuk, Bacon was persuaded to start a similar facility here in Iowa. So he rented a house in Keokuk and started teaching 3 blind children. By December of 1852, he had the backing of Iowa state legislators to establish a larger school. Bacon's school was adopted by the state on January 18th of 1853 and moved to Iowa City, where it officially opened on this date in that year, April 5th, and it had a new name, the Iowa Asylum for the Blind.
Now, you would think Iowa City would be a natural choice. You know, the public university is there, and it was just recently, well, according to these times, the capital of the state. So that does make a logical place to begin that school, correct?
Absolutely. There were so many connections, and it also was, of course, more centrally located than Keokuk was. Well, Bacon changed the name of the school only a year after it opened in Iowa City, because he was afraid using the name asylum would give the impression that the school was a poorhouse, because the word asylum had been used in that context during that time. So he changed the name to the Institution for the Instruction of the Blind. And that facility quickly outgrew its space and, in fact, moved several times within the boundaries of Iowa City. Bacon wanted to expand further, but he wanted the school to stay there in Iowa City. But there was an offer of free land near Vinton, and that proved just too attractive for state lawmakers to pass up. So they approved moving the school to Vinton. That approval was in 1858. Took a while to construct, and the new facility did open finally in Vinton in 1862. Samuel Bacon got the school there, but then left at that point, continuing what appears to be westward migration to Nebraska. And not surprisingly, he founded a state school for the blind in that state as well.
There you go. But you know what they say, Professor, the only constant is change, and apparently this applies to this school as well, right?
Certainly in terms of its name. The facility took on so many different names over the years. The Iowa College for the Blind in 1872, the Iowa School for the Blind in 1926, and for so many years, starting in 1951, it was known as the Iowa Braille and Sight Saving School. That's probably how most people watching right now remember it. But did you know it's no longer a residential campus? It hasn't been for the last several years, but there is a state department named the Iowa Educational Services for the Blind and Visually Impaired. And that state department now operates from the Braille and Sight Saving School location in Vinton. But as the Iowa Asylum for the Blind, the state-supported school led by Samuel Bacon, opened for the first time in Iowa City on this date in 1853.
You see that? So it's what 3 degrees of Samuel Bacon, and you can find the different names of the school. Okay, so that's the bottom line.
I like it. That's good.
But he was very persistent, and that's the thing that was really amazing. And for those people that might not have remembered, one of the first sentences that you uttered while talking about this guy, he was born and he was blind, right?
Absolutely. And what he was able to do then was truly make the case of why such a school was important, because as he was evangelizing for it before state lawmakers, et cetera, he could say, look at me, I'm a product of this.
Right.
And to this day, when you do research, who is the quote unquote most famous graduate of the Vinton facility?
Would that happen to be Helen Keller?
It would be Mary Ingalls.
Oh, or Ingalls.
Oh, yeah.
Laura Ingalls Wilder's sister.
All right, yeah. The little house.
That's right. That's right. You have told us that before. Just an incredible man who has an amazing last name, but doing so much good for so many people because he was persistent in getting this school put together.
All right. Now, I want to go back and get the names that you just mentioned here, because it's so many different name changes there, Professor. How can we go about doing that?
Got the whole list at iowaalmanac.com. Works on your computer, your mobile device, whatever has a screen. iowaalmanac.com. Also on Twitter and Instagram at Iowa Almanac.
All right, so you have big plans for the weekend, Professor?
Going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. I think my yard is calling me. How about you?
Hey, there you go.
That could be a very popular alternative for some people rather than sitting inside and just looking out the window. That sounds like a plan. All right, sir, we will chat with you on Monday morning. That sound good?
That's excellent. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
Thank you,
so
Professor.
much. Yeah, what an amazing man, Samuel Bacon, being able to do all those things and get all those schools up and going without being able to see it.
Yeah, an incredible individual who's helped so many and continues to. We have our local School for the Blind here in Des Moines now that does incredible work. So kudos to these amazing people that are a part of our history that continue to push forward.
There you go. All right, it's 9 minutes.